Listening to 27 Degrees SAG, the galactic center. And this evening, the moon is actually at 27 degrees Sagittarius. So we are all aligned, we're all synced up, and we are ready to go. I just wanted to say that my heart is so happy for all of the wonderful celebration for Valentine's Day. It was a great day, and also the 15th, which is Wednesday today, is also a fabulous day for some overspill if you weren't able to celebrate on the 14th, because Venus is conjunct Neptune, which is very romantic, and it's very, I just want to say, kind of connecting spiritually as well. So, the more I counsel, I have my degree in metaphysical counseling, and the more I counsel people, it's one of those realities where um, every person wants to have a little bit deeper of a relationship. They want to not only have their socks knocked off, in other words, but they also want to bring in the special component of the spirituality as well, so that couples can have a highlight on their values, can have a foundation to bring their children up. And I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about spirituality. I'm talking about having mindfulness, and also um, with a consideration and a priority of humanity and where we are going, in the future. So we also have we're having this yearning for to better ourselves as we're raising our level and frequency of consciousness. We are um, we are at the point where we want to have solid partnerships. We want it to be based on um, mutual respect. And you can't expect anyone to express their love for you, but what you can expect is respect. And this just boils down to adding that spiritual component, where you want to basically respect life itself, no matter what it is. When you respect life, you respect all components and experiences of life itself. So, Valentine's Day, Saint Valentine was held in prison, and you know, eh, and the prison guard's daughter. He wrote a lovely letter to her, and that was the first. Um, and he signed it "Your Valentine." His name was Valentine. So, one of the things that I think, with how we text and how we chat and all of these things, our expression has shortened, has become restricted, more to the point, or we flash a little emoji. So when you express your love for someone, and it's one of those things that, if you would like to write a nice song or a poem, or how you really feel from the heart, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes we don't have the confidence to do that. Thank goodness for these cards that we give and we buy each other. I mean, it's always nice to have something like that. But and sometimes, you read those cards and it just bam, it hits that feeling that, yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to say. Or it's some type of an expression that really fills the heart. But please know that if you wanted to send someone a lot of love, a lot of compassion, um, a lot of intention, you can do that remotely. You can do that through meditation or prayer. You can do that in wishing them well. I know that if you are a fan of social media, there are many instances where people are asking for prayers, good thoughts, as people are going through health challenges or perhaps losing a job or a pet or something like that. And they really want to feel, some support. And I don't think people realize what a supportive piece social media can play, especially if you're going through a hard time. Sometimes, I've been wrapped in prayer myself and, going through challenges and things like that. And I know other people have as well. So when you do have that intention of saying, yes, I'm going to be praying for you while you're going through this or your loss, or even helping you celebrate a wonderful birthday, or perhaps getting a raise or a new job or something wonderful in your life, take a moment and be very mindful of sending the best that you can send from your heart. Okay. I just feel like so many times, we put in the prayer emoji, and do we really stop and really consider and really send a very solid intention or prayer or wish to them? Or do we just kind of, yeah, 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 blah, blah, blah. And, to really communicate at this particular frequency of consciousness that we're going to be opening up our heart chakras. We're going to be dealing with raising and expanding. There's an electromagnetic field around the heart chakra. This goes into emotions. This goes into manifestation. This is one of those particular components. You know how we have the circulatory system, the lymph system. We've got all these systems, the adrenals. We've got all of these to learn about how our avatars, our bodies really work and function. But these particular, we've got a huge electromagnetic field that some people see as an aura, but your heart is it's the priority. It's the core of who you are, and it pulsates and it can expand, it can retract, but the emotion, the feeling, the intention that's coming up through the heart is what is going to be projected to your loved ones, to the outside, all the way up to the galactic center. This is something that once the portals start opening, you are going to see that if you have any kind of, let's just say, an intention that's fractured, frayed, um, just I want to say semi-solid, right? Like not really worth its grain of salt. It's going to be so apparent. So if we train ourselves now that the thoughts that we give out and the exchanges that we make are not just something to fill the space with words, that you really do pick and choose your intentions from the heart, so that we can really all be receiving some great energy that's actually healing. Okay. So when you send out an intention that, let's just say, is not from the heart, maybe it's from the head. I'm thinking, that I'm going to send this good thought out or whatever, but it hasn't connected with the heart. It loses the component or the ability to heal. And that's really what love is. Love is the answer. Love is the resolution to everything. And so if we start incorporating and opening and expanding that particular heart chakra, and the color is green. And as we are closing down the period of 8 this year, 2023, and we're going to be moving into period 9 for 20 years, that particular cycle is going to hold a fire element. It's going to hold the flame of the heart. This is huge. It has not been this intense for a very, very long time. This particular element Um, for us being on planet Earth, we have not been in the inspiration, um, the notoriety, the integrity, um, and this can be, famous or infamous. I mean, you can be, um, you can have notoriety and fame for not having integrity, or for cranking out information or cranking out intention, that is malicious or perhaps harmful. And so, when we really want to get to really spreading things out, everybody always says, "Oh, I'm saying this from the heart." Um, Practice that, because it's something that we don't stop, and we're not mindful of the communication and the exchange. And this is, I think, huge in what's coming up for us in the future, especially in the age of Aquarius as well. Aquarius is an air sign. It rules the mind. It's all up here. But in order to bring down this technology, in order to bring up the frequency, and take in more light, we all have got to expand that heart chakra. So if you're doing chakra work, keep that in mind. It's just one of those things that's very, very simple, but we just sort of bypass it all together. But anyway, tonight we do have the 27-degree moon in Sagittarius, which I am so happy about. We've got information coming through the portals. We have got our galactic visitors coming in at a rapid rate. They said they were going to, right? They said, "Oh, the time is going to be coming," and they've been here all along, but they are now going to be more pronounced. They are now going to be more evident as to their presence, and perhaps also as to their history of our well-being and of our DNA. And we may just, get to the truth of a lot of these particular ingredients as to exactly what the real story is. Why, how did humanity jump from, the Neanderthal, before that the ape, and then all of a sudden we are now humans, and we're doing this and that? And who upgrades us? How do we get upgraded? um, and as a mass consciousness, if we take it as a galactic consciousness, we have been sorely underscored, sorely. And so, we've been bypassed in a lot of decisions about our own freedoms. And since this is a planet of free will and free choice, it just seems to me like we should have a part of this. We should have a say in this. And, you know, and part of the manipulators of power have done everything they can so that we would not know the power we have. We would not know how to use our free will. So, I really think that raising our consciousness, taking in more light, being responsible, being mindful, being an active human is something that is a gift, and we need to treasure that. And so, respecting all of life, respecting, visitors, or respecting another point of view is really going to, come up for us. And we are going to have to discern exactly what the truth is. So this is something that we're looking forward to. We've had so many encounters in the last 2 weeks of unidentified flying objects. And the army, there was a great clip, and I'm sure you've all have seen it, of the army pilots that were going after the UFOs, and they hovered and went right into the ocean. There's bases underwater. There's bases underground for them. They don't just have to fly around and land on some landing strip, perhaps in New Mexico. These particular ships that are coming in are needing to activate the bases no matter where they are on the ley lines for planet Earth for protective reasons, so that the ley lines are healthy, they're open, they're lit up, they're taking in information for us on a conscious human level to raise it up so that we at least can have our voices heard at the Galactic Council and at the galactic level. So, this is where we're headed. I know it has nothing to do with getting the dishes done or the laundry done or the kids to school, but believe me, it does in some weird way. I want to say thank you so much for coming into the chat room. Hello, Scotty. Hello, Vonda. And Leslie and Bill. I want to say hey to everybody. If there's someone I have not that I have not acknowledged, please come back in and say hi to me. I've got two things working tonight, which is kind of fun, but I want to make sure everybody's included tonight and everyone's presence is acknowledged and heard, because that's what we're working towards, right? So in this attempt to avoid fear about what the encounters are, what is an unidentified flying object, way back in the 40s and 50s, we had these weather balloons and all of this, and now they're back to the ballooning again. And they're trying to kind of work through some of this and I want to say some of this disrespect for boundaries. But what I do see happening, because there's so much, I mean, if you looked at planet Earth from way out there in the universe, you would think it was just fireworks going off with all of the launches and the space shuttles and the satellites going up, the space stations. Um, they're being dissolved or being placed. Can you imagine all of this going on? Plus the moon being a way station, and look at all the activity that you can see with your naked eye. I mean, you can see it more with a telescope. But I mean, there's comings and goings out in outer space that we just have not had the opportunity to take in and process. And so what happens is we have to overcome the fear. We have to overcome, what is that exactly? How do I protect myself? We've been here for eons and eons. So if anything, they could take us out in a hot second if they really wanted to, but they're not, because this is part of their base as well. And we have not been thinking in that particular, in that particular uh, opinion. And so, this is another thing that I think we don't have the perspective, you know, um, to to know what everyone's role is, and we are very much bound by the need of security, the need of having a leader, having someone at the helm. But if you knew that your home was in your soul, that you go home after this, you go back, you do, you can go to other places and travel dimensionally. Once you start wrapping that possibility around, and that perspective around you, you will be able to see that they've been going to Mars for decades, and that they've been having interactions on the moon, and all of these other dimensional stations and way stations that have been out there. This isn't just something we've done in the last 5 years. So, this is something that the exploration, I feel, is that for us to feel secure enough to, bring in this new perspective of a galactic expansion, we do need to have some type of boundaries put into place, and not just, setting off fireworks off of Mother Earth herself. There's so much to talk about uh, with the galactics, with the visitations, with the encounters, with their ships and their technology, and how they are mingling in, and how they are trying to I want to say, maybe exchange for the things that they need from Earth, and some of the things that we need. So the age of Aquarius is coming in. We do have some big shifts happening next month, but let's wrap up February. So what's up, Astro? What's coming at us? I want to just kind of give you a little preview so that we can all, be mindful at the energies that are going to be surrounding us. So, okay, so today's the 15th of February. We've got some wonderful news coming at us, and that would be Mercury is going to be sextiling Jupiter. This is a fabulous day to think of expansion, expanding your projects, expanding your dreams, expanding how you communicate. You may want to join some other circles. Some networking is perfect. You also may want to travel. Traveling and learning and exploring is a great way to learn other people's perspectives, and also their philosophies, and what they value as well. But I feel like this is one of these kinds of days, and that's going to be on Friday, by the way, on the 17th, that you may be impulsive as well. You may think, gee, I want to sign up for this class, or this seminar, and I want to do this and that. Again, before you overextend yourself with this wonderful Jupiter and Mercury aspect, I want you to make a commitment. Is this what you need? Okay. So muscle testing is great. If you haven't done the muscle testing, I'm going to go over that. We did a little bit in the last show. But if you stand up straight and you think to yourself, or if you have something in your hand like a brochure, or if you say, do I need to sign up for this course? And you go backwards, that's away from it. You don't need it. If you say to yourself, oh, I really need to sign up for this, and you go forward, or you lean into it, that is something that you are really definitely wanting to go forward with it. So it's very easy to do. Some people do the muscle testing this way or whatever, but I really feel that if you incorporate muscle testing, that brings you down, and that makes you mindful of the decisions and the intentions that you're making. Otherwise, you can really overextend yourself and your schedule. So if you're booking for things here and there and everywhere, Jupiter rules my charts. So I like to talk. I like to chat. But I also like to overbook myself, and by the end of the day I'm exhausted. So anyway, I know, but just be mindful. Go ahead and muscle test the things that you're eating. If you're thinking, oh, I'm really craving a sweet right now, and you've got two completely different, one's a brownie and one's an apple. See which one you really need, okay? Or if you need that at all. Okay, so that is something, even when you're picking out clothing, you're picking out, let's say, any kind of healing tools at all, whether it's crystals or candles or anything, even clearing your house. Do you want salt? Do you need sage? Just take a second and just kind of, really get into the muscle testing, and that'll really help you, because so many people these days, they walk around with brain fog. I mean, from everything that we've gone through in the last couple of years, it's very difficult to get rid of it. It's in the air. And so, to bring a little clarity back into your day to days, right? Your day to day schedule, just really kind of remember that you do have a detector, and you can use that all the time. So let's talk about Saturday. Saturday, the sun, the mighty sun, is going to be moving into Pisces. So happy birthday, you little fishes out there. It's going to be, the party is going to be definitely in Pisces, and all the while our thinking, our Mercury, our commerce, our communication is still going to be in Aquarius. So we're still going to have that particular mindset of it, is it good for the group? If it's good for the group, then it's good for me. We're not on this solo me, I path. It's basically going to go into a group mentality, because remember, we're raising the group consciousness. We're raising humanity's consciousness up. We can only do it as a group. You can't do it um, just one person as the leader. That's it. So we have to do it as a group. So once we get into that mode, it's going to be really easy. But when the sun enters Pisces on Saturday, look very, very closely to Sunday. This weekend's a big weekend, because Sunday we have got the new moon in Pisces. Now it's either 1 or 2 degrees, depending on um, where you are on the planet. But Venus is going to be sextiling Pluto. That's a very passionate day. And this particular new moon, that's when you plant the new seeds. That's when you start your new projects. That's when you make your vision boards. This is something that, okay, this is what I want to bring into I want to bring in from the ethers, and I want to manifest it. And the manifestation key here is Saturn, and he's going to be helping this particular new moon. So it's a great time to start a new project. Wonderful time just to start a movement forward, whether you're going to buy, real estate, new home, new car. If you're going to say, I'm going to bring feng shui into my office. I am going to create a new, basically a new career for myself. I'm going to take a new direction. But what Pisces is so famous for, they're so famous for not having boundaries. They're so famous for bringing in the intuition and the psychic ability from above. And we all have it. Don't think you missed out. It's just that perhaps you haven't been trained on how to direct that energy. And this is what's really great with this aspect of Saturn being with this new moon. This is going to bring in a new flavor into our getting results. Yeah, we're finally going to be getting results. And anything that you have been working on, anything that you have, if you can visualize it, you're going to fill in the blanks as far as, how to prioritize it, how to fund it, how to manage it. It's all going to work. If you would like to have this particular project on a certain timeline, you can do that as well. If you want to collaborate, if you know you're not the person that can keep the records on it, or you're not the person that can market it, it's okay. You will manifest a collaborative partner as well. You know, this is a wonderful time to have your ideas stick and to really stand the test of time. So anything that you have been, oh, let's just say you've been wishing, wanting, working towards, collaborating on, or perhaps you've just taken a new position somewhere. And now is the time where the path is going to just light up. There is going to be a set time, because remember, Saturn is Father Time. So he's going to give us that particular timeline. He's going to light it up for us. He's going to protect us with the rails, with the boundaries, so that we know, if we go straight ahead, that if we shoot our arrow straight ahead instead of it going like this, wow, it's going to have an impact. You're going to say, "Woo, I was successful on that." Or you're going to really get ahead, jump ahead, as far as perhaps in your learning curve. If you're studying something and your quizzes are going to be easier, you're going to be able to, I want to say, use the wisdom as at a faster rate if you're taking wisdom in. So that's going to be a wonderful day. And then we've got Monday. And Monday on the 20th, which is President's Day in the United States, and a lot of the banks are closed, and we have some other celebratory things going on. But we've got Venus, the planet of value, higher money, and love. That's going to be changing and going into Aries. So we got hot, hot stuff going on. Aries is a fire element. Aries wants it now. Aries wants to be the first one to have it. Aries wants to go fast, sometimes too fast. And so this is going to make a wonderful medley of having Saturn there with creative Pisces in manifesting and loving the inspiration and the feedback you're going to be getting. Because with Aries is one of these wonderful signs that provides a um, action, right? Provides the action, provides the particular push forward in order to make decisions, choose wisely. Also, Aries sometimes just is impulsive. And as we're going through this new push forward this particular weekend, be mindful. Are you being impulsive? Do you want it so badly? Are you feeling so good to expand that you are just ready to throw caution to the wind? And, I'm thinking of the Fool's card in the tarot deck. Bring it in a little bit, bring it in, muscle test. We're going to slow things down when we get speeded up really fast. And also, starting out on Monday, we're going to have a big, huge rush for the frequency of spicy foods, the color red, pink, purple, anything to do with that fire element. If you are incorporating plans at this particular time for maybe outdoor landscaping, you're going to think to yourself, gee, we might as well just put in a fire pit. I mean, lighting is also one of those wonderful fire elements as well. And lighting up certain areas of the home, depending on what direction it is, if you want to incorporate feng shui, it's very important that you do not put the fire element in the northwest. That's called hell at fire at fire at Hell's Gate. So we don't want to put, let's say, if you're designing a home, a kitchen in the northwest. You don't want to have that fire pit placed in the northwest. You don't really want to have a fireplace in that particular corner of the northwest. So we don't really want to bring in a particular harmful element in different directions. If you need any more information on how feng shui works, I'd be happy to go through it with you. You just need to book a session with me. I'm running a sale on it right now. It's at my website, kimlalowe.com. I'd be happy to work on that with you. It's fun. It's fun and you get it right. Okay. So, I studied interior design, and my professor at UT said to me, have you ever heard of feng shui? And I was like, Chinese takeout? I'm not sure what that is. So, and you may not know either. So I would be happy to introduce you to the wonderful philosophy of designing with feng shui. So it can be done. You design with elements and directions, and you have your own personal directions that you can use to be more successful, to be, I'm going to say, to be more abundant in the joy of life. And there's wealth included in that. There's good health included in that, good family relations, being a good leader, being a good parent, a mother or a father, being a good student. And having I want to say, a stress less career that's successful. So all of that is wrapped up in there. There's Ruthie. Hi, Ruthie. Thanks for coming into the chat room. I see you there. So happy to see you. And yeah, and if that's not enough, I don't know how many of you follow Tuesday is Mardi Gras. Yeah, Tuesday's Mardi Gras. So in the South, it's big deal. I don't know where you are, but some people that celebrate Lent and do all of that, Mardi Gras is Fat Tuesday, and so we celebrate by feasting and eating and excess parties and things like that to bring up the joy, because the next 4 weeks we are very sober and somber, and we do go into perhaps a fast and perhaps a little bit more of a prayer mode, a little bit more of a meditation mode, a little bit more of, okay, we're going in the inside now, and the outside will come, because this is the last push for until spring happens. So it's kind of one of those, I'm always about, the ebb and flow, the breathing of earth itself, and how seasons change. What foods do you eat during those particular seasons? It's very hard these days when we go to the markets and we can get all the foods available from all over the world in international markets and such, but actually the foods that are seasonal, your body it breathes and it responds as well to exactly the foods that you should be eating at that particular time. Okay. Whether you're in northern hemisphere or southern hemisphere. Well, hi, Kimberly. How are you? Hi, soul sister. So good to see you. Yes. Oh my goodness, you're up. You're up late over there in the UK. Or is it the morning? I don't know. But it's very wonderful to see you coming into the chat room. Yeah, so it's one of those things that when you tune in to seasons and you tune in to when you push and when you pull back, that's one of those things that goes along with alignment with Gaia. You're aligning as you are going. You'll see a lot of people who are off seasonal eating and fueling, I call it, fueling. And what happens is your body starts to react. It gets stuck. You'll get some rashes, or um, you'll store more fat than you're supposed to, or perhaps perhaps you're running on empty. You're running out of fuel a little bit more than usual. You're unable to break down certain proteins to use them, or perhaps the water that you're drinking is not being assimilated as it should. So yeah, there's something about going with the flow, breathing in and out with the earth as she is an alive being itself. So there's a whole, a session about that, but it's definitely something that when you begin to shift your chakras, begin to align, begin to see, begin to see that, the timing, the sun is setting, earlier, or now it's setting a little bit later every every day in the northern hemisphere, and also the cold fronts and how they come in and where they dip down, and it all lends itself to a flow that's happening. A lot of the things that are breaking that up and maybe bringing challenges, and fraying that flow, could also be indicators that there are some blockages that we have to be aware of. We're the ones that have to dissolve it. We have to take responsibility for building, for making our foundations, for bringing and manifesting, but we also have to take responsibility of dissolving our traumas, whether it's ours, whether it's those around you that are projecting that onto you, or whether it's generational. This is something that we are now powerful enough. Our codes are blossoming, they're being activated, where our awareness now and our perspective, we can see how powerful we are, and we can see where these blockages are, not only in our day-to-day lives, our challenges, but also the spots within the body, and to really be a clear channel to really take in the light and let it flow through us. A lot of times we have to dissolve, break up old belief patterns, things that just don't work for us anymore. They don't taste the same. They don't feel right. Different materials don't feel right. Different colors don't work for us anymore. um, different, I want to say different enjoyments, different places you go to enjoy, to relax. You know, I don't want to go there anymore. It's not what it used to be for me. Actually, you're not what you used to be. That place is probably the same, but you've grown, you've expanded, you've elevated. You need something that's in your realm. And that's exactly what we're all starting to experience. So, as we are wrapping up February, I just want you to be a little bit, and I know this is going to sound, but focus in on you a little bit, because once March hits, we've got some great, uh, huge planets that are making shifts that have cycles of up to 30 years. So we're going to be talking about that. I'm also going to be talking about period 9 in the feng shui cycle as well. That's a 20-year cycle. How these are all going to intertwine like a tapestry, how these are all going to be visible for us. How do we assimilate this kind of powerful energy? How do we know how to use the juice? And all of this is going to come up. If you're interested in learning about all of that, I am going to be breaking it down, unwrapping all these cycles so that we are aware of when to push, when to lean back, how long of a timeline we have. And I'm going to be doing a seminar. It's going to be under a private membership so we can really talk freely. It will be through Zoom, and it's one of those things that it will be recorded. So if you're interested in something like that, uh, give me a buzz and drop me a message, a line. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook. Visit my website, and it's going to be going through my website through there, kimlalow.com. But this particular seminar is going to be chock full of information about the huge shifts and exactly what is coming up. Now, I hope that all of you realize that your particular horoscope, the Western horoscope, that's and it, but we can talk Chinese in a minute. But your Western horoscope is drawn up, your soul imprint is drawn up with the exact latitude and longitude of where you took your first breath and at what time. And what happens is that's an indicator of what the constellation was coming over the equator at that time. That's your rising sign, that's your ascendant sign. So when you are flipping through TikTok, paddywhack, give your dog a bone, I don't care what social media you're on, and you're coming up with all of these astrology predictions, please know that you will be spot on if you're using your ascendant sign as a gauge. Then you can go ahead and read your sun sign or your moon sign or anything that you want. But please note that these particular astrologers usually do not say that before they start going into their predictions. So the predictions are a generalized factor, but you are going to really get the results or hear or experience a really nice packed bit of information there from the astrologer's predictions if you first read your rising sign. They also call it your ascendant sign. And that could be very different from your sun sign and very different from the moon sign, or they could be all the same. You are a very unique Mandela, all of you, and you have your own soul imprint. So when I do the charts, I actually see a Mandela in the middle, all of the aspects, your squares, your sextiles, your oppositions, and it makes a design. And I would love to take that design of your particular birth chart and, that's your symbol. You know how people, have a symbol or they have a crest or, a logo or whatever it is. That's yours. That is yours. And I can get that to you, and you can, you can make a little sticker and put them, on a pocketbook or coffee cup or whatever you want to do. That's your mandala. And so what it does for me is that mandala lights up, and it lights up in priorities for me. So I'm intuitive astrologer as well as being certified. And so those kinds of things are just fun things to know. So if you're looking for your personalized um, chart or design, that's it. That's definitely it. And I'd love to be a part of getting that to you. So we can book a session time and we'll go through that as well. Hey, Jules. Hi, Christina. So nice of y'all to come in tonight. So nice. Hey, you know what? I want to answer some questions. So we've done already what's up, Astro. We've talked about the UFOs. So let's open it up. If you have any questions, go ahead. I'd love to give you my take on it. And just keep in mind, I am not a medical intuitive, but I will do the best I can. But just know that any kind of medical advice or anything that you're going to ask me, okay, you must check with your medical advisor first. I have to say that just in order to harmonize the lane I'm in. So if you have any questions, here we go. All right. And so I see the question there. Hold on and let me see if um, Pisces is my Jupiter is Pisces. Yes. What is the next? Okay, let's see if I can. All right. What is the next something in business? I'm not sure what it says. Jules, if you could type it one more time, it'll drop down to where I get to see the whole thing. So if you just type it one more time, I'll be able to see your whole question. Right now I'm seeing what's the next business. So I'm not sure what that is. So if you just do it one more time. Okay, what is the next step forward? What is the next best step for my business? Okay, let's take a look at that. I feel like you should be opening up something concrete. Um, both. They're saying, okay, both. So something concrete, like mortar, and something online. So it just seems like there's kind of you've had some kind of difficulties in getting the results that you want. So I feel like there could be a group, or they could be some collaborators in your area that perhaps want to take over a cafe for the night or the evening on, let's just say Thursdays or something. And you get some local traffic that go in there, because I see that your fame is rising again. It's kind of been up and down like that. So I feel like that would be the thing to do, to have other collaborators. And I think just to have a group around you, but it's going to be your thing. It's kind of going to be like you're the one that's initiating this, and you're the one that's highlighting this. If you pick, let's just say 3 good people around you to also, bring in their crowds and their things. I feel as though, I don't know, there's like a cafe or something, they're telling me. So that's kind of the mortar place. And then you bust out some good stuff online. And I think that that's the key. You intertwine both. But you need to be seen by people, because your electromagnetic field is really expanding, and you're getting inspired to I want to do something. I want action. I want this happening. And I want to talk to more people. And when people see you and they get that buzz that's around you, they want more. And so it's going to really help you. You're going to come up with also a brilliant idea that I think is going to incorporate. I don't know if it's an invention so much, but I think it's something that would be like coordinating either an event, or like a fashion show that's happening, or it's funny, but if I just see that if you take a spot, maybe in a salon, when they're getting their hair done, and they're waiting for their hair to color, they're waiting for their hair to dry, or maybe they're in the waiting room, or getting their nails done, or something like that, like a salon, and you come up and you just give the reading. It's just going to be, a red hot winner. So yeah, so try a couple of those, because I really feel that these challenges are just going to melt like nothing. And you're going to go in there. I mean, sometimes people get weaves and they're there for hours, and it would be great for you to go in, sit next to them, and give them a reading. And they're going to be they're going to be wowed by you. So see if you can put that together. Okay, here we go. I am about to sign up to be certified in the emotion code. I feel good about it because I I feel good about it because it can support everybody and myself. Is this the time? Yeah, this is definitely the time. This is so big for you. I really feel as though manifesting um, concrete results in spirituality, intuition, or anything to do with learning new modalities, this is the time, definitely the time to do it. So, yeah, good luck to you. Looking for something. Oh, I don't, and I can't see that. Can you type it again, Kimberly? I know you're up late. um, yeah, if you could type that again, that would be great. Maybe then I could see that. Let's see. For some, I'm not moving that at all. So, okay. Um, about to sign up. Okay. They're not giving me the next question. So maybe if somebody could type it again, I could give some reading to Kimberly. Looking for some direction. Is that it? Okay. Looking for some direction. I'm gonna kind of give you some direction. Yes, looking for some direction. Got it. All right, Kimberly, looking for some direction. Yeah. Well, Kimberly, you're really creative. Very, very creative. Um, and I feel like you've got something coming up. Um, you've got something coming up. Do you work with the angelic realm? I feel like you've got some stories to tell, some books that need to be out there. And I feel like also they're showing me that it has to do with the little ones too. So I kind of feel like get creative, use some really cool illustrations and some humor, but also make it so that no matter, that it's not just for adults or it's not just for new agers or, astrology or whatever it is, but use the angelic realm to either guide you, help you, or introduce a new galactic perspective to the little ones, because I think they already are there and they need an adult to validate them. They need to be seen, be heard, be validated. And I think just stories about how the how there's protection out there and they're never alone, and some really good themes like that. I think you would do awesome, and I think it's a creative project that the whole family could enjoy. So yeah, so I think that's really good. My question is up there. Okay, your question is up there, and why don't I see it? Sometimes they only give me so many. Let's see. Ruthie, I lost my sister with her now. She next assignment. Are there any Okay. I lost my sister March with her now. Has she moved into her next assignment? Are there any messages? I feel like she went somewhere I can't reach. Um, Actually, your sister was quite the little warrior. She was quite the little warrior. She's doing some projects right now, and she is helping. She regenerated very quickly, by the way, and I feel as though what she's doing, I don't think you would understand. She's crisscrossing or maybe even, okay, they're telling me five, so five dimensions. So, but she can't really, you can't get the perspective on that. Hold on one second. Okay, she's showing me like wheels of a bike or a bike happening or something like that. Now I don't know what that would be, but she's very happy. So I feel like when somebody shows me the wheels are turning, that means she's going forward. You're about to go forward. You are really about to flip your wheel of fortune. That's the wheel. So if you have been waiting for perhaps some financial goodies to come your way, I feel like your sister is definitely there to help you. So if you want to send her good intention prayer, that way she gets more energy, she gets more bars like on a telephone, and then she can come through for you and give you more messages, give you more strength, give you more confidence, okay? Because it's the faith and the trust that you can do it, and that you believe in the messages that you're given. And so I kind of feel like your wheel of fortune is really going to be turning and turning. So it's going to be really good. I'm feeling very alone. My mother Rose passed last January. Teenagers almost grown, and my company closed. Oh, this means a new reset for you, KM. Um, yeah. When your mom passes, it's one of those things that I want you to know that yes, she is still with you. I want you to know that you can speak to her at any time. I want you to know that you can also, just like I said to the last one, you can send prayers up to her so she can validate that she's by you. Either through feathers, dimes, nickels, pennies, whatever it is, in little coinage, or she will present some heirloom, or like her favorite coffee cup or something will all of a sudden appear, and you'll be like, oh, this reminds me of mom. All of these wonderful things. But what's happening, Miss KM, is that you are ready to start something new. It's coming. It's going to be coming up, and you're going to say to yourself, I'm exhausted. I don't want to start anything new. I can't even wrap my head around anything new right now, but it's going to take place. It's going to be starting at the end of March, the beginning of April. And I feel like there's going to be very soft baby steps forward into a new direction for you. And it's going to give you a curiosity. It's going to give you a schedule that you got to get up, you got to do this, you got to do that, you've got to go forward. And it's going to be fun. I see that there's a social component there for you as well, but you're going to be learning something new. And it's going to be like in a group atmosphere. So you're not going to be alone. It's going to be a group that supports you, and kind of you're going to kind of get swept up with this group, but it's going to be a good thing. So don't worry. You're never alone. Your angels are there. Your tribe is there. Your mom is still with you. Okay. So I want you to know that. Hey, everybody, I'm over time. I wish I could read for all of you. If you want to hang out with me, go to my website, book a session, and we'll get into all of the really fun personalized stuff that I would love to introduce to you. Until next time, may the angels protect you and guide you. Good night, everybody.